you are learning without really learning the concept in the real way. Because the way to do this could be just to have the solutions and just mix the solutions and hit and see everything that has to be done in real. But this is like maybe a funny way to do things, because the students then can start to be bored, because actually just looking at the reality but just doing it through the computer. So then we are thinking that there are funny ways to teach and in which you don't really need to use the the specific way to do it, and actually you are learning because you are having just this fun, and at the same time that you are just parallelizing this concept could be in your head. And actually, I think that the students, the next students that will be showing and presenting the project, and they did us a very fun way they will present it later, but they also create some kind of fiction in the game at the same time that they are learning the concept for biology, but they are considered also other funny elements that are not part of the concept, but at the same time they are showing that it is possible to have fun and learn also. So then, while the final estimation of the modern trials that we are thinking on, we'll just have methods that any kind of final estimation has, like the constructor that we will create. We will have just add new states and add new transitions. We just will consider actions and states and set the methods in current state with current state and apply the actions. So then another consideration that we are thinking that can be useful using FSMC for the behavior generator. So with this application, we are trying to do with two other text boxes provided for the teachers. One of these is the action text box, which provides a drop-down list of available named actions for the user to select. Once an action is selected, it is acted upon, and the FSM may change the state as a result. However, the user administrator may add a new action into this list, and the second text edit box allows the user to specify the new state for this transition by selecting it from the drop-down menu or by adding it to the drop-down menu. This is like an idea of how is the way we will plan to do this kind of tools. And another interesting thing that we can do as well using FSMC for interaction with conversation. Here, an FSM can be used to represent a range of possible conversations that you may have between two people. In fact, two conversations where FSMs can be connected together and drive each other, producing interesting conversation along the way. Say that person A in state 1 says sentence string S1 to person B who is in state 1. This causes B to move to state B2, let's say, and to say the sentence string S2 back to person A. So how you can see, this is easy to do just with final state machines. And then, well, maybe I'm not yet working in this part, but if we could do this, then we can have work easy conversations between games and between the game if we are trying to work in, say that situational games in which you have different situations, and say for example that one game that could have you or the users or the players to learn about skills in how to interact with your boss or how to interact in an interview and so on. And another extra issue that we will be working for the next paper I will present in some 2 months. Okay. Is about John Rankin's idea of just modifying final state machines in the way that after a set period of time of no input action, then the time FSM will automatically change its state either to its start state for the simple time at FSM or back one step towards to the start state via the sequence of a state that it has come along for the retracing time FSM. Well, I think that's all for me. That's all the things I'm working on. I'm just really focused on how is that we can use FSMs for really learning concepts and how that we can parallelize these concepts with games that we already have or technologies that we have already, and without the need to spend too many effort of time, like say 6 months, and considering 5 or 6 people for working with this for these educational serious games, because these games will say that will be used only for a couple of weeks, and then the teacher needs another one for learning another concept and so on. So yeah, thank you.